Well, Royal did it. They announced a May cruise from a non-US cruise port, and it wasn't Mexico, and everybody has to be vaccinated. Big cruise news coming at your face here on March the 1st. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news. It was a big weekend. Johnson & Johnson got their vaccine approved, and it's already rolling out. Johnson & Johnson vaccines will be going into people's arms this week. First single-dose vaccine rolling out to combat this virus. Of course, it's well documented that the efficacy of this Johnson & Johnson vaccine not as high as the Moderna, not as high as the Pfizer. But the important thing is when it comes to hospitalization, when it comes to fatality, it's almost at 100%, which is what we want. If you haven't figured that out yet, the whole point is to get people not to go to the hospital and not to pass away. And now we have another soldier in that battle. It's exciting. The CEO from Johnson & Johnson, I love this guy. His name is Alex Gorski. Talk about making a soundbite. He said, we're committed to doing 1 million by June of this year and up to 1 billion by the end of 2021. How you like that? I'll get you 1 billion vaccines by the end of the year. Surely with 1 billion vaccines, we can get back on a cruise ship. I can't wait to, look, I don't want to jump the gun. I cannot wait to get to this Royal Caribbean story. One of the components is a vaccine mandate, the first cruise ever. And that's going to be in May. But a couple other nuggets. We talked about Norwegian Cruise Line over the weekend. We talked about their financial position. A lot of people are asking the question, don't you think these cruise lines are going to go broke? I don't. These people have access to money like nobody else I've ever seen. They are raising $550 million more dollars. The creditors love the cruise lines. I think they are even extended some of them past the assets they have to back up the loans, but their business model is so good. Their profitability is so high. People are just giving them money. They're able to sign out for money and sell stock, and the big three cruise lines are going to be fine. Everybody that's worried about bankruptcy, we are closer to cruising than we are further away from it, and the creditors are happy to loan out money that these companies are going to have to pay back for some period of time. But Norwegian Cruise Line putting their hands on $550 million to keep this thing going. Now, I'm not trying to raise $500 million. I'm trying to raise 29,000 more subscribers. Can you help me out? If you like staying up to date on what's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Be a part of the notification squad. You get a badge. I'm just kidding. You won't get a badge. Thanks in advance. Now, I promised you a cancellation roundup last week. It's very simple. The major cruise lines have canceled their U.S. cruises for May of 2021, except for a few. Royal Caribbean not canceled. MSC not canceled. Virgin Voyages not canceled. 61 days until May the 1st. Can they get cruising going in the U.S.? We will continue to watch. We'll continue to look intently at the CDC for the next round of technical documents that are needed to start the test cruises. I really hope that we get an announcement about that over the next week or two, because if that happens, then all bets are off. These cruise lines are going to be jumping on these test cruises. CDC, if you're listening, could you please release the technical documents? You know, I'm trying to win a little more with honey than vinegar. Come on, CDC. I'll be your friend. I won't talk bad about you. Could you just release the technical documents? How about that? These companies have not canceled in May. And somebody pointed out something very interesting. I talked yesterday about how Norwegian Cruise Line kind of let us know that even if we had cruises scheduled after the cruise restart, that there was a chance that those cruises would be canceled because not all the cruise ships are going to start at the same time. I apologize for not remembering the person's name, but there was a very astute comment that said, if you want to cruise after the cruise restart with zero chance of your cruise being canceled, book a cruise on Virgin Voyages. They only got one ship. If that one ship is going and you're on it, you will not get canceled. I thought that was very astute. I thought that was excellent advice. Maybe we're trying Virgin Voyages. They haven't canceled in May. And then MSC, they've been our huckleberry in all this. They're currently cruising with the Grandiosa, and they're bringing one of my favorite cruise ships over to cruise in Europe, which makes me kind of sad. A Miami staple, the MSC Seaside, will be making its way to Europe, to the Mediterranean, to start cruising in May the 1st. But I'm like, isn't that Miami's ship? Come on, man, don't take it over to... They got to cruise somewhere, right? These companies got to cruise somewhere, and right now, the U.S. isn't it, so the MSC Seaside going over to the Med to do Mediterranean sailings. I'm excited for anybody who gets to cruise on the Seaside in the Mediterranean, even though it's Miami's ship. The Seaside will be joining the Grandiosa over in the Mediterranean, and the Grandiosa, what a story. It serviced over 40,000 passengers during the shutdown without vaccines, just using the cruise bubble, the health protocols that they developed with testing and distancing and other protocols, proving that you can keep people safe on a cruise ship. And I tell you what, as this virus gets more and more dealt with, it's time to go cruising. I'm getting excited. And of course, with Royal announcing the restart of cruising in another location, the big story for today gives me even more hope. Big story, Royal Caribbean announces they will be cruising from a non-US port. It's not Mexico. They're going to be cruising from Haifa, Israel on the new Odyssey of the Seas, cruising 3 to 7 night cruises to the Greek Isles and to Cyprus. And it's significant because it's going to be the very first fully vaccinated cruise. Passengers have to be vaccinated. Crew members have to be vaccinated. There does seem to be an exemption. This only applies to passengers over the age of 16. So it seems like kids will get a pass when it comes to vaccination. But yes, crew members, passengers vaccinated, they are touting this as a fully vaccinated cruise, these itineraries. And it really shows to me Royal's commitment to health and safety protocols. We know Quantum of the Seas cruising in Singapore, not under a vaccine mandate. So you have the other health protocols recommended by the Healthy Sail Panel. It will be interesting to see people cruising out of Israel to see what their cruise experience is. And this begs the question, we talked about it a couple days ago. Royal did mention that they would be working with other governments to cruise in other places. Now they've announced they're cruising out of Israel. Does that take Mexico off the board? Was the mayor of Cozumel talking about MSC? This is another clue. I can't wait to see how that story plays out. Who's cruising out of Cozumel? Royal Caribbean, MSC, getting it done, pushing through, cruising when cruising is difficult as the world tries to return to some sort of normal. I'm excited. I'm hyped. How about you? Boom! That's your cruise news. Time to sound off in the comments. Also, how's the tipping gonna work in Israel? That's the question I got. I made this video about should non-tippers tip on a cruise ship. It's a great debate. Check out that video. Thank you for watching the show. It's your turn to smash the like button. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.